Good morning guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So we are going to go over to those charts. So here we are for our chart, for our time frame. As you can see, we've got one of these TD9s, TD9s that I like to look at. I do think that TD9s are pretty important, especially on higher time frames, and 4 hours actually my favorite time frame for them, to be honest. So yeah, so what is this making me think? What am I thinking? So what we've got, we had the level, the 9,600 above level really that we were looking at to take out to trigger a move to the upside. So clearly we got that move. We got into our little resistance zone, pretty textbook here, rejected from the resistance zone, and now either we can spend some time basically bumping up the bottom side of this resistance, gathering up the momentum, the strength to bust up, or we could potentially have a bit of a test down, test this old resistance as new support, so ORNS, that's the one, old resistance new support zone, and then form some support there and then drive upwards. And I think you guys will probably know what I think is the most likely scenario. We spoke about the same scenario here. Look, we had the descending trend line. I said, right, we bust out of it, I think we'll come back down, test it, test the top side of it, and then go up, which is basically exactly what happened. So I'm pretty much, I expect things like that to happen because just I see it happen in markets all the time over the years. So I will always expect it to happen just on a higher likelihood scenario. And then we've got a similar thing basically here. So we've got the same trend line, we've got a trend line that we were drawing, this sort of pennant, and we've broken out from it. Look, we've broken out, we've hit this obviously this is a pretty important resistance zone. Look, there's a lot of price action around this area, so we've hit the resistance zone. We hit the resistance zone here, right, I can say it again, and then we've got a support zone down here and the top of the trend line. So does it to me, and we've got a TD sequential 9, sell 9. So this does say to me there's a high likely scenario, even higher than what we had here, that we will come down, test this area as support. So basically between 9,400 and 9,500 area as support, and then we'll basically make our way back up. We'll then make our way back up to the actual logical projected target of this pennant that we're looking at. And that pennant will also then bust us through what is maybe even a slightly larger time frame, ascending triangle, and that could basically be the rocket fuel. So maybe this little dip down, for you guys that did miss this pump up, basically pump up from here, and also don't forget, people are going to FOMO'd in at this level and they're getting faked out here with a potential swing failure pattern. So maybe we're going to squeeze some of these guys down to this top of this trend line, down to this resistance area, support area, and then we're going to use that as our platform to catapult off in much the same way on a smaller scale we did here. The downward price action, break out from above it, came back down, retested it, and then catapulted off. So that's what I'm looking at, but obviously that's just a scenario. I mean, we could take out this low and then come back. Things start to look pretty bearish if we take out 9,400 again. This will obviously, whilst it doesn't fit in with this trend line here, it clearly fits in with a high, a lower high, a lower high. So maybe we'll end up having to, if we do that, having to adjust this trend line here, and maybe we'll be looking at a slightly different shaped pattern, but we've obviously got to address that when we if we end up in that scenario. Also to the upside, to invalidate this, if you guys see how I usually trade these nines, obviously this nine's got a close, and then once we basically either trade above it or above what was their high recently, if the 9 candle isn't the high, then which is basically this resistance zone. So if we break up and hold above 9,800 or break above 9,800, I mean, you guys know how markets work. Basically, if we take out the high, we'll likely going higher. If we take out this resistance zone, we're likely going to go higher. If we take out the high of this 9 and these candles based on the TD, then we're likely going to go higher. So pretty clear defined areas to deal with. Below 9,400, below 9,400, obviously we've got to watch out below. Above 9,800, closing above here, above this candle, obviously we've got to watch out above. But what do I think is the likely scenario? Play this zone out a little bit. We've got a 4-hour 9, come down, test the top side of this support of, sorry, test the top side of this support zone, test the top side of this trend line, and then rock it up. That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. Also, these are pretty easy trades to take as well. So if we do get down here, you can basically, I will probably put orders in like 9,500-ish, 9,450-ish, 9,400-ish, and then just have my stop probably, yeah, about 9,300-ish. That's what I'll look at. I mean, I'll have to be careful of a wick down. If we start coming down pretty aggressively, then I might pull those orders and wait to see how it pans out, and then buy it back up basically. Also, if I get filled on those orders in a more orderly fashion, filled on my orders in an orderly fashion, I will look to then buy also when the market goes back up, and I'll look to buy up here as well. So that's what I'm looking at. Also, failing all that, the 9-hour, this 9-hour, this 4-hour 9 can be clearly be invalidated, yeah, and then we just got to basically buy above, above these levels here, and just squeeze those bears hard. It's their turn to feel some pain now. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. 12-hour Stokes are clearly gonna be, I don't know why my Stokes have messed up. Are going to be obviously pointing up still. Dailies, come on, you got to be going up now. Yeah, crossed over. Look like they're on the move. Look like they're going to be on the move up as long as we stay up here. And then the 4-hour, yeah, this is good. This is good, really. This is just a bearish, a bullish reset. So we're going to just reset these stochastics. Maybe come down to this. Well, this isn't a trend line on the 4-hour, so just ignore it. But maybe come down to around about here. Coinciding with a 9,000, between 9,400 and 9,500 price in the price of Bitcoin, and then turn back over, get supported. I mean, it just sounds like a Goldilocks. It just sounds like a logical. I mean, sounds reasonable to you guys, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Range and stop obviously isn't the best indicator when we are not in a range. Obviously, when we were in a range, annoyingly, we weren't in enough of I didn't have enough volatility to really trade the larger time frames on the range and stop. So yeah, it just hovered around the middle. So we do need volatility to increase. Maybe we're going to end up in a bit of a zone here. Look, the bottom of the range and stop is 9,500, incidentally, and the top is 9,800. So this is sort of telling us 9,500 buy level. Maybe we get some wicks below it, like we kind of do here, to a bit lower. Like that's basically 200. That's basically like only $50 lower. So if we have a wick like that, that gets you filled at 9,500, 9,450. And yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, stock markets. You guys that obviously listen to me know I talk about this crazy 3 a.m. buyer. Incidentally, basically a 5-minute 9 would have got you a nice move in the SPX. But yeah, look again. Here you go. This is and also the 5-minute high was a high. So not that I trade 5-minute charts and the 5-minute 9 here, because I clearly don't. But I've got this scaled into this time frame to show you guys what is the 3 a.m. buyer. So there we go. And yeah, also I did get this chart up, but I didn't look at the TD sequential. But yeah, look, 999. So just something to look at, guys. I mean, it is what it is. TD sequential works. Here we go. 9 here, reversal candle, 8, reversal candle, 9, blast off. Look at this. 9 here, 9 here, blast down, if blast down's even a word. 9 here, blast down, and yeah, I mean, we're waiting for a 9 here on the hourly. So the TD sequential works, guys. I don't get any money from selling the TD sequential indicator at all. I use a paid version from Tone Vase's paid version that just has extra settings that I can set alerts and other things on, but you don't need that version. I don't have any affiliate. There are no affiliate or referral schemes for that TD sequential code. I can't make any money shilling it. I just use it because it works, and that there are also free versions that are basically the same, that just don't have as many settings and features that you can use anyway. So this is like obviously there are some indicators that you guys can purchase such as Range and Stop, DMT, Dominator, but my main bread and butter trading indicator is not one that you guys have to pay for. So look, we are actually breaking out this little pennant we've got here. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is bullish. These markets are bullish. I mean, part of me just thinks, should I just add to positions here at 9,600? We're in a melt up now. We're in an Austrian style crack up boom. It's called a Ludwig von Mises crack up boom. Let me just see if I can find it, because I've been meaning to do a video on this. This is what we're in. This is what's going on. Investopedia, crack up boom. What is a crack up boom? A crack up boom is when an economic crisis of that involves a crack up boom is an economic crisis of that involves a recession in the real economy, a collapse in the monetary system due to continual credit expansion, and a resulting unsustainable rapid price increases. The concept of a crack up boom was developed, blah 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 blah. So if this is not fully identifying what is happening in the market right now, which I tell you it is, because I study Austrian school economics and I know it in a lot more detail than one sentence, and this is what's going on. So what we need to do is basically convert, this is not financial advice, but convert all our fiat cash, our fiat confetti, our fiat federal notes, or fiat Bank of England just junk, just literal junk, just pieces of paper, to any sort of hard asset. This is why inflation is going to go up. Any sort of hard asset, be that real estate, be that cryptocurrencies, be that oil, be that commodities, be that precious metals, anything, be that car. I mean, I've basically bought this is random. I bought a couple of like highly economical, small, cheap cars just because well, I can just use them if I've got to do on long journeys and don't have to use a more expensive car. But also, I think those prices will go up just because people are gonna, just because prices of everything are going up, and also people want these cars. I also did. I mean, obviously, I'm a trader. I buy low, sell high. I obviously I only bought them because I got really good deals because what's going on at the moment. But again, it's just another real thing. Buy real things. Cash in your bank is not a real thing. Is not a real thing. You can buy real things with it, but it's not a real thing. Just the same as we got billionaires that don't spend any of their money that they have in their bank account. That's literally dead productivity, dead economic activity, dead money. If you that money doesn't do anything. So the money there doesn't do anything. They're obviously using that money to chase up whatever assets they can chase up, but it's just dead money. Like, it's just, you have to put it into something real. If we were going to enter a deflationary environment, and the reason why we won't really enter a deflationary environment, I think we've had our deflationary environment recently. I think we've been through that now. I think everything's in fast mode. Normally when you get these things, you get deflation and inflation. You get deflation maybe for a year, 2 years, and then you get massive inflation. So I just think everything's fast tracked in this world. I think we fast tracked our way through the deflation element. We had obviously a lot of deflation in commodities, stock markets, everything, and now I think we are. I mean, a lot of people say, yeah, bear market rally, but I was of that mindset, and also don't forget that I'm a trader, so you can't laugh at me if I'm wrong, because I will just, as soon as the markets look bearish, I'll sell anyway. So so yeah, don't try and think you got one over on me. But yeah, I just think now I'm sort of changing, like, right, inflation, stagflation, do I mean low economic growth, just like the von Mises Austrian school economics crack up boom theory. We're just basically going up, and this now is broken out here. We've broken this trend line. This is the stock market, S&P. We've broken the back above the 786. This is going up. This is going up. I mean, this is not a financial advice, right? And I'm not a financial advisor, but this is going up. And also yet another aspect of it. One other aspect I was talking about, deflation. Deflation I was talking about. There is no way inflation's coming. No way. Sorry, there is no way they're going to allow deflation. Deflation is not allowed. Deflation is the enemy of central banks. Central banks are fully in control of this world now, so there will be no deflation. There's so many things they can do to fight deflation. Lots of these things don't really help economic activity, but they can do things. So on that basis, we're not going to have deflation, and also we've got a big election coming up in November, and they're going to do everything to keep stock markets up. Let's face it, the powers that be in this world, right, as much as other powers that control other aspects of public debate and forum are potentially left-leaning, and don't like basically the current leader of the free world. Basically, the rich people in charge, they do not want socialism. Just the sort of things that are gonna come through if we get a different leader of the free world. So these people are fully invested in making sure that guy gets re-elected, which means we don't want a stock market crash. Basically, we don't want a stock market crash. That's it. Assets got to go up. I mean, there are lots of factors. So, right, I've ranted on a lot about a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, so it's cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a bit of a Bitcoin. That's it. That's what we do on this channel. It's not just what we do. We have other videos. But yeah, so I think the likely scenario: backtest this, fill your boots here, and off to the moon. And I don't like those scenarios where people say we come down first and then up. But I'm basing the down on a number of things, and I'm basing the up on a number of things, and obviously I've got clear levels to stop out and etc, and clear levels to invalidate. So right, remember, this is definitely not financial advice, yeah, so don't listen to whatever I say, yeah, but I'm not a financial advisor, and yeah, do your own research, and I will speak to you guys later.